Blogging is dying in 2024. Sorry, guys, not a clickbait title. I genuinely think that 2024 is the year that the idea of being an independent side hustle blogger as your primary source of revenue is really pretty much over at this point. The chance of success starting from a small blog and growing it organically, almost impossible to achieve. This is really mainly to do with how Google has performed its updates. It's really focusing on large brands, large companies, and the focus has shifted away from independent information on independent websites, particularly blogs. You'll also notice that sponsored listings on Google have taken over the most valuable keyword searches. So it's really hard for bloggers to get any form of good ranking when you've got an actual valuable keyword that you're competing on. It's almost impossible to compete with the big companies who are actually selling the products. That's obviously Google's core business, selling ads. So it's not that surprising that we've got to this point. There's also a really increasing role in AI in this issue from GPT and also from Google itself. I'll talk about that a little bit more. But in conclusion, what do we do instead of blogging? Is there a more productive way we can use our time doing content creation and online marketing in a more effective way? Let's talk about that as well. All right, so let's look at blogging as a trend on Google Trends. We can see that the golden age of blogging was really 2004 to 2007, 2008. So that's really getting around 15 to 20 years ago now, where you could set up an independent blog and actually go about making that into a profitable side hustle. That has steadily declined. There's still a few people around who are interested in it, but it's definitely not what it was in the past. I'll give you a couple examples from one of my favorite blogging channels on YouTube, Income School. They had a couple of blogs that they did really well with a few years ago, Camper Report and Dirt Bike Planet. Really great blogs, lots of articles, high quality places. If you look at Camper Report, that has really created, it was getting over 200,000 page views a month there. That has fallen down and it's now only around 5,000. Same with Dirt Bike Planet. That was pretty solid, up around 40 to 50K. And now it's just 1 or 2K. So massive drop off in traffic. I'll show you what Google's actually done to these kind of blogs. So let's look at Camper Report's best keyword here. Campers under 1,500 pounds. Let's pop that in Google and see what happens. So let's pop that in here. And this is what we get. We get sponsored listings for campers under 1,500 pounds. Someone is probably looking for these kind of campers. If they're performing this search query, they're sent straight off to these paid listings. Google makes money. These guys hopefully make sales. That's how it works now. The top ranking page is also a camping sales page. Again, they want to send traffic to companies rather than bloggers. Then we've got two big authority sites. We've got YouTube, we've got Pinterest that are outranking Camper Report, the independent page. Still ranking well, but they're below the fold. They're not going to get barely any traffic when they used to probably be ranking right up the top there. Now they're much harder to find. So that's the best possible outcome. They've got a really good page, but yeah, you can't outrank Pinterest. You can't outrank Google on YouTube. And you're definitely not going to get ahead of these sponsored listings. So yeah, look, it's almost impossible to get for a valuable keyword, get any good results as we can see. Shouldn't really be much of a surprise. Google was investigated by the US government this year, and some of the memos that came out from Google itself, they had in black and white, there's talk of suggesting that the search team consider new goals around query quotas, focusing on monetizable queries. So exactly like we saw on our Google search results, no surprises that this is how they're operating. Now let's talk about the increased role of AI on this issue. There's probably two key things here. Everyone can produce expert quality content now, basically using an AI. How do we know which content to trust? And what does this actually do on a Google search? Let's start with a simple question. What are the advantages of living in a van? So Google is clever enough now that it will just straight up answer the question based on scraping information off another website, of course, but a lot of traffic that would have gone to websites like these are just going to be eaten up by Google. People are just going to read the answer straight away rather than visiting any website and generating any revenue for these kind of websites. So even for low value keywords, Google is taking the traffic for itself, as we can see. Another big disadvantage an independent blog is going to have in this scenario is the trust factors that Google is now using. Experience, authority, and trustworthiness is really directed towards large companies and brands, because real places and people that exists are going to send higher trust signals the way Google ranks these things now. So Google reviews, Google Maps, brands and people that are mentioned outside the website, like real mainstream news articles, journal articles, backlinks from high authority sites. These are all things that are really hard to get if you're just a small independent blogger. These are the things that send high trust signals to Google and allow those few pages to rank more highly. Makes it more difficult for those of us starting out. You can read more about this on Google Search Central's actual documentation. If someone researched the site producing the content, would they come away with the impression that it's well trusted or widely recognized as an authority on this topic? That's much easier to do for large brands than it is for a small independent site. So what do we do instead? Now, it's a really obvious and really boring answer, but you can focus on building a business rather than a blog, and then you can use your content marketing skills, your blogging skills to grow your business. Growing a business, that's never going to go out of fashion. Things like blogging, cryptocurrency, drop shipping, all that stuff comes and goes, but building a business, that's always going to be there. And you can use your skills in terms of writing, in terms of video creation, content marketing, social media. All those things can be focused towards building your business rather than making the content itself your focus of productivity. So yeah, you can look at multiple revenue streams. So first you look at a profitable service or goods, and then you can look at adding revenue streams through your blog or social media through affiliate programs, ads, merchandise, sponsors, subscribers, and patrons. So I'll show you what I mean. Let's take the food niche, for example. 10 or 15 years ago, you could probably start a food blog, visiting restaurants, making recipes, and you could have made a decent little side hustle just doing that with a bit of ad revenue and maybe some affiliate revenue as well. But nowadays, what you would want to do if you wanted to be in the food niche, you could start small with like a small catering company. You could do small cooking classes, maybe hire a food truck and get some experience with in the food industry itself. Then you could create content based on that, some real videos, some real blog articles, some good social media around your little business there. You could actually provide goods as well, maybe make your own special sauces or spice blends, import those things, rebrand them, make a business in that sort of niche as well. And once you've built up some actual experience, authority, and trust in the real world, your website will do a lot better. Your online presence will be boosted because Google sees that this is something that people trust in reality. And then you can start doing affiliate marketing with maybe working with some kitchen and cooking equipment brands, getting some affiliate revenue. You could make merchandise with your own branded homeware, mugs, aprons. Those things are really pretty easy to do. I've done videos on print on demand on the channel before. You could work with some sponsors like drinks or appliances that probably, if you feature their products in your business and in your content marketing, that can be a really effective way for sponsors to be involved in your business. And blog ads and YouTube ads, once you've got a big audience and you've got some trust, that can be a popular thing. You can diversify your revenue streams if you enjoy doing that sort of thing. And then subscribers and patrons, there's things you can do to get recurring revenue in this niche as well. So you could send out recipe boxes with ingredients to do the recipe of the month club sort of thing. You could have access to special events for patrons only. People love that, especially in the food niche. You could do courses where people get access to updated methods and things like that. So lots of ways you could monetize the food niche besides the obvious opening a restaurant, which is really high risk, or trying to run a food blog, which is really low success. So again, be a bit more strategic moving into 2024 with how you focus on your online marketing and your content marketing for your business. All right, so I think our conclusion is we need to move our focus away from just looking at blogging and looking at a more multifaceted approach to generating revenue from building a real business. Focus on building real experience, authority, and trust in your local area at first and growing from there. And so your website content, including blogs, are still an important part of any business, but generally don't expect the main income source to be from the website. Expect your initial income to come from real goods and services, and then you can move into content marketing as a way of growing your business. So hopefully that's been useful. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.